Namaste to all of you. So coming back to another episode with Corporate Travel Insights by Dole. Today we have with us Mr. Ankush Bindra. Mr. Ankush Bindra is a well-known entity in the travel world, and he is known to most of the vendors, suppliers, as well as the corporate managers in the industry. Ankush, thank you so much for being with us on this show. We're looking forward to hear from you. What has your journey been to this day? How is it that you're here? What is it that you could add value to our viewers?
Thank you, Jyothi, and thanks, Dope Team, for bringing me on this forum. And actually, during this lockdown period, you were actually missing all those, connections with your corporate travel, guys, your vendors, your suppliers, those airline people, and those forums where you connect. And because not only in this industry you work, but you also make some good friends also over a period of time. I give you my introduction. So basically, I belong to. I was born and brought up in a small city in Kota, Rajasthan. From where in 1997 I came to Delhi. I did my graduation in travel and tourism, and tried to get ITA certification along with that. And I started with a very good name in the industry, Bird Travels, and from there I went to eBookers, which is one of the largest online travel portal at the time in UK and Europe. That was for a good 3.5 years. And from there I got a break into HCL Comnet as a travel executive, and that was a good learning. I was there for a good 2 years, and then I entered into Yatra.com. I worked there for corporate and B2B business, and that was a good 3.5 year journey. After that, there were certain small assignments which I took, but later on I landed again back to a corporate world with Ericsson.com. I was there for a good 6.5 years, and that's how everything was very comfortable. It was a good 6.5 year stint. And currently I'm working with Cummins in Pune.
Thank you. That was interesting to know your journey. Ankush, now with your experience, your exposure to different side, from the vendor side, you were at the platform where you were with eBookers and Yatra. So this is something which, on behalf of the audience, we would like to ask: do you think it's important to have the travelers informed, engaged, and empowered to handle crisis? What methods do you recommend to do this in your experience?
So Jyothi, there are different ways how you educate your travelers actually. But I think in today's world, people are not looking at you to get any information. They are actually looking to you as subject matter expert. You have to be like a consultant. You have to be like a guiding person. You need to be a decision maker in your approach. In travel, you cannot say that one approach will go. It is like a case study. So a person is coming to you with a query, and you cannot say that this is the right way or this is the wrong way. You can suggest the options, and based on the situation, you pick up the best. And too much of planning, I don't think so works, because you will get last minute surprises also sometimes, which you should be mentally and prepared with your team also. But yes, like you said, that how we are making sure that people are informed, the travelers. They are very well connected on social media. They come back to you with the information already available with them from that, and then you cross check from the reliable resources. So maybe if I talk about, let's say, a person over the night is asking me about the evacuation flight and where I'm getting quarantine, whether it will be Delhi or in Mumbai or Pune. But actually you need to get in touch with some of your best industry people who have that information, who have the experience actually to bring back their people. So it is not about information, it is about decision making. It is about vetting the information as a subject matter expert right now.
I just want to check. So there is a lot of data that you're collecting right now. Maybe from the airlines, maybe from the your own travelers and other things. So do you think AI and the data mining will come into picture in the future? How do you see your organization or you as a person in your journey accepting that, and what does that work on your corporates?
So, Jyoti, my approach in this will be more of, like you said, data mining and AI. So, actually, if you look back, you have humongous amount of data with you, and you need to pick and choose which one is correct, which one is authenticated, and you can rely on how you crunch your data, how you crunch your numbers, how will you see your volumes, how you see the deviations, and that is all something which is coming out of that data which you have collected. I would say a good 2 year sample, because industry is totally dynamic, is good enough to do the data crunching for you. And then later on the basis of that, so suppose in my case, if we are talking about the best in class shared services system, there are too much of FAQs, so we built on that so that my travelers are getting that information readily available, and the information is already vetted one. So you need to ensure that this data need to be compiled in a fruitful result through analytics. In fact, I have seen few companies who are deploying RPAs during this, and they are working on it, and they are trying to reduce as much human interaction as possible. So ground level work, I think that is getting automated. Similar, like we have seen the online booking tool getting deployed, so very less information which is required on a one-to-one, or you have least number of queries, but how you reduce that information to make that relevant for the end travelers and business unit in terms of their budget and everything, is what you can do with your data which you are sitting on. It is a gold mine.
So right now, this is another point which we all would like to know. Is currently, as you're aware, the market is down, and also the suppliers having their own challenges. So you guys have committed certain amount of revenues from the discount part of it, or PLBs or other things with your corporate deals. Going further, what is going to be the priority on these kind of RFP? How do you think the RFPs are going to be for the next year or in the balance few months that is in the remaining in this year?
So first, let us talk about the current situation. I do accept that it is very bad, especially for the small vendors. Big companies who are cash rich can still survive for a couple of more months or years also. But the thing is, situation is bad everywhere. It is not about squeezing more juice out of that lemon which you are continuously using, and that strategy in terms of when you talk about, okay, I have this kind of volumes. So volumes are not going to be the major key player or factor by which you are going to negotiate. And for me, I would say it is not the focus area also right now. It is more about ensuring that your suppliers do survive during that period. So I am not in favor of any aggressive sourcing at this point of time. Let them survive and continue with the old sourcing mechanism. Maybe you can look at the contract extensions during this period, rather than getting into renegotiation. And there are different things. There is less number of staff. People are getting laid off from the organization, so they have reduced number of people. I don't have from the corporate side, I would say the volumes have went down drastically, and people are still not accepting the travel as they used to do earlier. People used to enjoy their business travel, but right now it is more of, if you have dire necessity only then you are considering to travel. Otherwise, there are means like what we are doing right now, Zoom meeting. Okay, then you can go for a Skype meeting. You can use various tools. Microsoft Teams has deployed, Google Hangouts few people are using. So those are the things which people are, and it is not the time to look at the volumes. It is not the time to look at squeezing your partners. It's all about survival. you survive and ensure that these times will actually make you more human, and rather than getting into commercials aggressively. This is not the right time. It is about survival and supporting each other.
I think, yes, that's a very nice way of looking at it. I'm sure that gives a lot of confidence to the partners that who are working with you to enhance and give you the USPs, and try and make sure that the service levels are increased at this point, since you're also going more than halfway to help them to sort their own confusions that they are in currently. So with that, we also would like to know what is it that what do you think with your experience that an organization learns during calamities like this? Because this is something which none of us were prepared for, but then it happened, and it may happen in future too. So what is it that you feel we should be ready with to manage this on a individual level and as well as on a corporate level?
So, Jyoti, I think as an organization, I look at the past. So earlier people were not aware of, so I'm talking about way long back when yellow fever was not mandatory. But then people have analyzed that, okay, it is mandatory for if you are traveling to African countries or Central American, Latin American countries. So gradually, then you have seen the bird flu. In fact, Indian government started with the malaria vaccination also. So I think as a traveler, as a business organization, you need to be prepared to build that vaccination cost also. I would say, I hope that it will come soon to ease the business travel. And people will start taking those vaccinations, those shots in the arms or something, where they will get covered about this disease. And secondly, the impact on the revenues for travel insurance are going to be considered more seriously going forward. And as an organization, I think that your duty of care will be more, come into picture as a responsibility as one of your KRA, and you need to make sure that you are well connected in case of this kind of situation, which we are. So my experience overall right now in this condition is pretty good, I would say, in terms of the health and safety team, the security teams, my travel management companies, and the airlines, how they have cooperated with us, the government organizations, how they make those arrangements. Although people have a mixed view, those were not hygienic places or something, but still, I think with this kind of population, even if you are getting those care, and it is your responsibility also as a traveler, as a travel manager, to educate our people and then ensure that, okay, such situations will happen. And maybe earlier the situation, like in case of bird flu, swine flu, was not serious, which we have seen right now. And you never know that going forward it will be more serious than this, more critical than this. And right now, at the same time, maybe you will face something like a technical breakdown. The internet will go for a toss. You cannot go physically, and there is no connectivity also. So you need to start thinking out of the box. Anything can happen. And the way this 2020 has been, the earthquake, volcanoes, tsunamis and everything. So I think nature is trying to balance each and everything. And you need to be playing, well connected in hour of need. I think your networking, your relationship, your rapport with the inside and outside the organization means a lot to handle these kind of situations.
Thank you so much for giving us a crisp and thing. What is it that you have for planned? So now we are coming to into this discussion. Before I kind of sign off, I would like to have one statement from you. What is it that you want to tell the travelers out there, as well as the viewers? What is the learning, and what is it that they need to be prepared for?
Learning is something that you need to be prepared for anything which is not called for. As if I look at the economy, I think you need to keep, like elders used to say, you don't have to keep all your eggs in the same basket. So similar way, your revenue lines need to be opened up. You need to start thinking more towards saving. If you cannot start a revenue line, at least start saving for these times. So earlier people used to say a 3 month or 6 months revenue is good enough. But I think right now it is 1 year, 2 years, which you need to start planning about, and it is not going to happen so easily. So it is a very good time. I would say you started getting to know what all really matters in life. You started to become a little bit spiritual. I would say in my case, I started looking at my plants more often. You start spending more time with your family. That is what matters. You start taking care of your health. And the last message to everyone is be safe, relax, think over. In this good period of 3 months, I would say spend at least 2 3 you know hours in a day. Start doing with your family and yourself first. Looking after your health, maybe it is meditation, yoga, whatever is your. So I am not that person. When I look at the green plants, I feel myself relaxed rather than doing a meditation. But it may not work for everyone. You so be safe, learn something, save for future, and be prepared.
Thank you so much, Ankush, for spending us time with us. It was interesting to learn and understand about your journey, your perspective. How are you seeing that going further? What is the learning curves that you have learned? With this, I would like to take a sign off from each one of you. And thank you, viewers, for giving us a chance to be with you. Please watch our serial, reshare, like it, and forward it to the others so that more and more people can get an exposure onto this. Meanwhile, taking a sign off from all of you with a namaste. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay inspired. See you soon again.